episode 68 of the 3 Count Out podcast. We have a absolutely off the walls pod after Mania, because WrestleMania was last week. We had some huge events in Las Vegas, and I don't even know if we're going to talk about it this week or maybe next week. I don't know, one of these weeks, but apparently there's the draft on Thursday for the NFL. Completely forgot about that. But all of that's happening. So much to talk about. Such big weekend. Such big events. Joining me as always, Jackal, Joker, and Mike.
Heck yeah. I mean, we had the biggest event of the weekend with Stand and Deliver to start, so that's cool. Right? That's what everybody really came to Vegas for.
Absolutely. Booker T went for that. That was...
I put the gay in the Gabe Iglesias. My name's Jackal.
What?
Mike, I mean, you say that, but, you know, there was, I don't know if that was the most important thing that happened this weekend, in my opinion.
No?
I think I could think of one more thing that was a wee bit more important than Stand and Deliver.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Pope died.
Oh, that's right. R.I.P. Big Dog. Is that how Jesus comes back? He takes out a Pope?
Yeah, it was Easter or whatever. No, Mike, I got engaged.
Oh, that's right.
Congratulations. Congrats.
Thank you.
Enough about your personal life. God, who cares?
Okay.
Let's get into Stand and Deliver.
Mike's going, quit fucking yapping, bud. My goodness.
God, we get it.
God,
We get it. You're in a happy relationship.
Quit
Jeez.
showing off.
Streaming and has a girlfriend? God. A fiance.
Fiance now, right?
I'm going to repaint my walls.
Good. They deserve a nice fresh shade of black and gold, very similar to NXT Stand and Deliver.
Heck yeah, and it started off with a match that ended up not really mattering in the long run because, well, we saw what happened at WrestleMania, but we started with the elimination match to determine the women that would challenge for the tag team titles next, and it ended up being Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley taking home that win. So I guess now they're going to face Lyra and Becky?
So, you explained it to me on Saturday, but I was only partly listening because, again, my body was on cruise control for the past 2 days. What happened to Shotzi that she's now there, but not wrestling?
So, she had gotten injured,
Okay.
and then they went, hey, we're going to put you on NXT to help them and to kind of get you back to fighting form, but you're not going to be there long. We're going to bring you right back up to the main roster once you're healthy. So she was in NXT. She disappeared for about a month and a half. And then all of a sudden she's back because they apparently went, oh, never mind. We can't use you on the main roster right now.
Ooh, that sucks. That sucks, too. I really like Shotzi. She's one halfway decent character away from being a very strong mainstay in the women's division, but this ain't the Shotzi episode. We'll keep her rolling.
Well, they're a kinky trio,
then,
the three of them, right?
Well, and that's, you know, Gigi was feeling herself with going into it.
What about Saturday, Mike?
What about Stand and Deliver?
She did during them, too.
Hey-oh!
But after that, we got the AEW turned WWE match. We got Ricky Saints versus All Ego Ethan Page.
The Thank You Tony match.
Those
did have the crowd chanting "Thank you, Tony."
Those chants were fucking wild. When I heard that, I was like, put my fucking, I was watching and I put my headphones down and I was like, are they fucking chanting "Thank you, Tony"? And then I put them back on. I was like, yup, they are 100%. And there were a couple shots at AEW this weekend. Paul Heyman had one today on Pat McAfee.
Oh my God.
He said Michael Cole should go down to Jacksonville.
Laying those shots in there. Paul, the unsanctimonious MVP of the weekend. We'll get to that later, I guess.
So we ended up moving a table during this match.
Yeah.
The Dudleys called, asked for some help, and we obliged. But we did get back to see that Ricky did retain, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't he? But good match. Obviously, both of them are great in the ring, so that was going to be a good one, I think, no matter what.
I would say so.
And then after that, excuse me, we had Fraxium versus a team that, I'm going to say it. I was wrong. I didn't think these two were ever going to be involved in a title match, much less win it. It was Fraxium against Hank and Tank.
Oh, I love Hank and Tank.
I got
they're
introduced
fun,
to them.
but I did not expect them to ever be main title pictures.
Listen, Hank and Tank are one good gimmick away from being legitimate stars. I think like right now that's the story that they're kind of getting into with and after like kind of that they were doing throughout this match is they're trying to figure out kind of who they are and how they, being comfortable with themselves and all that kind of thing. But I think that like, give these kids some time. They're going to be fucking stars because they are big boys and they are exciting boys. They are funny boys. They are entertaining boys. They are strong boys. They have everything. Like these two dudes, I think, are going to be a hell of a tag team.
The one could use a bit of liposuction though. Could use a bit of a tummy tuck.
Maybe a little bit of bulk up, maybe a little bit more muscle, maybe, a little bit more like Braun Strowman build.
Outside of that, though, I think they're big fellas. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I've kind of cooled off in the NXT tag division after a couple years, but excited to see Nathan Frazier and Axiom ultimately move on to bigger and better.
Yeah, I think at this point you kind of have to bring them up to the main roster. They have been levels above pretty much everybody.
I know a certain tag team that just won their titles this weekend that could use a nice strong teammate to go up against, or not teammate, a strong team to go up against. Well, again, talk about that one later.
Well, because up next we have what could have been and probably ended up being, besides for that tag match, one of the matches of the night, the tag team match, or not the tag team match, the ladder match for the women's North American title that Stephanie relinquished to be the women's champion, which ended with Sol Ruca becoming the new women's North American champion.
Odd. Sol Ruca looks a lot like Brendan Fraser. I'm not sure how that one works out, but if you watched the 3 counted out stand and deliver reactions live on the YouTube right now, you'll understand that reference. Anyways, continue, Mike.
Listen, Sol Ruca's insane. Her soul cutters are fucking soul snatchers, whatever the fuck they're called.
Soul snatchers,
the fucking flip thing, the flipping RKO bullshit she does. It's insane, dude. How do you move like that? How do you do that? Like, how long was that match? Like 14, 15 minutes? How do you fucking do that at the end of a match? Like, that's
well, and that match I think ended up being like 20 or 25. But they had, besides for some fairly soft, unfortunately, ladder spots, like they let them pretty much go. And there was one point where Zarya was doing the Terry Funk ladder around the head gimmick.
Yeah.
And she hit, I think it was Lola Vice, and I thought for a second she actually just nailed her and almost killed her.
Yeah, she was swinging. She was spinning fast.
Oh yeah, it sounded hard. But that match got done. I was like, okay, they did it. They did a good job. They delivered. And then Sol Ruca posted a little photo that said her and Zarya are still friends. So
that's so cool that Sean was able to get an Overwatch character in his women's division. That's pretty sweet. Good for him. I was unaware of a lot of these women going into this match. Like I think I was only akin to the ladies that were involved in the Royal Rumble as of this most recent PLE. So getting to see the rest of the women's division on NXT gives me a big hope for the women's roster for the next couple of years. I think it's in a very, very good spot.
Yeah, it's stacked. In every sense of the word, it's stacked.
Very much so.
And then after that, moving on, we had a match that was really just there for the turn that happened afterwards. We had the Tony D'Angelo family against
the Screen.
Shield 2.0, and boy, was that not that great.
These guys
Shield
are
2.0, not the best.
Yeah, Shield 2.0. I know they're very new. I know everybody on NXT is. I get it's developmental My God, is it developmental?
Yeah.
I wish him the best. It's NXT, it's developmental, but whoo, boy, for stand and deliver, okay.
I don't know who any of them were. I just understood that it was like a very akin to a Shield gimmick, and the other one is an Italian mob family that needs a new gimmick as soon as they get called up to the main roster. So I had a hard time caring about this one.
What, you don't like the D'Angelo family?
I loved it until it broke apart during that match.
Yeah.
But I loved it until I didn't.
Why would Staggs do that? He stabbed him in the back. Why, Staggs?
Well, and if you look at X, he says, Tony, you told me to always, take advantage. And Tony said, yeah, but I didn't teach you to be a little bitch.
Damn.
But that was one of those groups that I thought if they would have put him on the main roster and done it right, it could have been very well done. And then they said, no, you. And, well, now we don't have that anymore.
Here we are.
I would have loved to see the D'Angelo family versus Bloodline. That would have been fucking awesome. That would have been fucking gang warfare. That would have been that would have been a great War Games match.
When you give it that title, you do sell me. That literally is gang warfare. That's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. You know what else was cool?
The next match?
Main event.
We're not even there yet.
We're not. No, damn it, we're not there. The main event, however, still is cool, but we're not there yet.
This next match was very cool. That,
we had the women's Fatal 4-Way match for the women's championship.
The Booker T heart attack match.
Yeah, and if you guys want to be uncomfortable, go back and listen to Booker T going while Stephanie Vacour was doing her special move that she got edged on about 3-4 times.
I didn't like listening to Booker T finish live and on PLE, and I didn't like hearing it again much.
Nope, it wasn't great, but the match was phenomenal, and of course Stephanie Vacour retained.
Who were the women fighting in this one more time? Give me all four names real quick.
It was Stephanie Vacour.
Yep.
Julia, which my first thought was, oh wow, she's getting her belt back with that weird injury drop thing they did, but no. Jordan Grace and Jada Parker.
Ah, yes, okay. I would just like to quick ask, you don't got to give it too much thought. As someone who has not been watching the NXT women's division, Jada Parker felt very not like she should be in this match.
New.
Okay.
No, right. Again, I think it was just kind of one of those
newer.
Oh, she's newer. Oh, I thought you said.
Well, she's been there for at least this year.
Yeah, but she hasn't had that many matches, or at least televised matches, I don't think.
She has, but she was one of the ones that had, like, they always treat her kind of like Mia Yim, where, like, oh man, she's from the streets, oh, she's a hood girl, and then somebody was like, nah, man, we grew up in the same neighborhood. She not hood, so. But
she in fact had a nice quiet neighborhood in suburbia, turns out.
Yeah, when you have Stephanie Vacour, Julia, and Jordan Grace in a match, and then you go, oh, we got to put somebody else in there. You know, it's kind of hard to make them seem as relevant.
Although
interesting.
I will say Jada Parker being in this spot, what does that tell us about how Shawn Michaels is thinking about her, right? Like, he's probably looking at that and going, who's going to benefit from this exposure the most? And it's Jada Parker. And anytime you see Jada Parker on WWE TV, they're on commentary, they're gassing her up. Like, they never, it seems like WWE is all behind her. And it seems like the NXT crowd is behind her as well. So I think she was just kind of fairly popular, and she could just kind of get in that spot. And I honestly, I mean, again, she's newer, but I thought she hung pretty well.
More power to her. Hell yeah, I'm all for it. Let's go, dude.
And then 3 people that hung with each other through their whole match. Now we're at the main event, the triple threat for the men's NXT's men's championship, and it was Oba, Trick Williams, and Javon, and 3 vastly different fighting styles that complemented each other well in this match.
I Didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was shit. I thought it was a very fun match. This one was a very fun main event to me. Wasn't the greatest Stand and Deliver main event I've ever seen, but it definitely wasn't the worst. I liked it.
Out of the 3 main events that we had this weekend, it was number 2.
Very fair. Very fair.
Yeah. Okay. Which isn't that hard, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's fair.
In the grand scheme of things, you're not wrong. You're not incorrect, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those ones where you're like, okay, Oba pretty much has to retain, and he did. There were some close calls, but I think we're probably getting closer and closer to the point where Trick Williams is going to the main roster. Javon is going to be a champion at some point. That's inevitable. But as of right now, we have the ruler.
Do you think Trick gets the NXT title back before he goes up to the main roster?
I don't think so. I think they're just going to Carmelo his ass.
I mean, they have been saying he's like Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, and I think, unfortunately, when he gets to the main roster and they're like, oh, man, he's got the look, but he has the exact same promo skills. Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but I feel like Trick Williams has been in NXT for the past 7 years of my life. You know?
Which he really hasn't. He came in with Carmelo.
Which was what? 2020? Pandemic?
I don't know.
I just feel like it has been a minute, and I am very much ready for him to move on. I would prefer Obafemi to like do a Kevin Owens and be on the main roster with the NXT title with him for a while. Although that's probably spreading the poor guy real thin, because I do know he is one of the NIL athletes. So he's got to learn the WWE way of doing things, but now he also has to learn how to do the WWE travel, if you know what I mean. That's like a big step up for these college kids that at most were just going weekly to these football games or college track meets or what have you. So hopefully Obafemi can make it to the roster eventually, and once he does, I will be very happy to see him there.
Also, to clarify about Trick Williams, I actually remember seeing him at CZW in 2021, kind of like around that before pandemic, early pandemic times. And then I think the first time I remember seeing him on NXT, I think it was probably around like 2021. So yeah, you're right. He has been there for a good few years. But to be fair, when he started, he was fucking, he was Carmelo Hayes' fall
best friend.
So yeah,
he was just basically the guy that followed him around and went, man, that's Carmelo. You respect him, dog.
Yeah,
it's him.
So like, he kind of did a little bit of nothing when he first came in. I think Trick in NXT. I think he should stay in NXT for now. I don't think there's anything wrong with staying in NXT for now because it's just as on fire as the main roster. And at the end of the day, I would really like to see Trick get the NXT championship as this heel persona that he's in right now. So that way we at least get to see a heel Trick and he gets to be a heel Trick before he goes up to the main roster.
Heel Trick is also the same thing that I call it when I mess around with my hacky sack. Right, fellow kids.
Is that what they're calling it these days?
When was the last? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one.
That ain't PG, dog.
I ain't even sure if that's PG.
NXT.
You know what did end up
good.
pretty? Yeah, it was good. It made me miss takeovers more.
Yeah.
But it was one of those ones that got done. And I was like, all right, that was the first time Stand and Deliver felt like a warm up for WrestleMania. Instead of being able to pass it, which it's done the last few years.
Multiple
where
times.
you're like, okay, this was a banger. How the fuck are they going to follow that up?
Oh yeah, that's how I was feeling last year. Leaving, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How are they gonna top that shit? What the fuck? I just watched Braun Breaker move a ring with his body. What the fuck?
Unfortunately, this year I don't know if Saturday WrestleMania did top Stand and Deliver.
No, yeah, because they opened up with a strong one. Main event Jey Uso is now just officially a nickname as he opened up WrestleMania, definitely not in the main event, against Gunther, and somehow some way, they decided that Jey Uso was going to have Gunther tap? What?
Well, all right, so
Super kick Jey Uso, spear Jey Uso, splash Jey Uso, headbutt Jey Uso. That's all he knows. When did he learn fucking submission moves?
So I know what they were trying to do. They just did it poorly because one of Gunther's main title losses was against Ilya when Ilya submitted him, and it happened in the exact same speed. Like, he got Gunther in a rear naked choke like that, got the legs wrapped around, and Gunther tapped immediately.
Yeah, but Ilya and Jey are not.
Hold on. Yes, hold on.
It's true.
That's my whole point, is that this match with Ilya, they beat the absolute fuck out of each other. I mean, both of them were bloody. Both of them were a fucking mess. With Jey, it was like a minor inconvenience and then it was done. You know? That's not how that should have gone. If you're going to have him tap, have that match be 30, 40 minutes and have Jey actually put in some fucking work.
Yeah, no, instead it was 16.
4 chops and a powerbomb?
Yeah, it was 16 minutes and 30 seconds, the official time. So it was I once that match was done, I was just like, what the fuck just happened? What, like, why?
Yeah,
like if you want
like
Jey Uso to win,
Raw.
yeah, if you want Jey Uso to win, fine, but fucking have him go out and hit his 20 fucking super kicks and his 5 spears and his, you know, his pop and lock punch and whatever the fuck else he's gonna do, and have him pin Gunther. When was the last time Jey Uso even used a submission move, let alone got a win? Does Jey Uso even have a recorded submission victory?
I'm going to say no, probably.
Is this just so that way people can say that Jey Uso definitively beat Gunther? Is that why they did this?
Probably.
Because
What's even worse.
Yeah.
The only way I can see this going. Oh yeah,
Go ahead.
Go for it.
All right. What's worse in my eyes is that we didn't get Gunther. They had him change his whole fucking character for one night just so Jey could win, which also made it equally as pointless. Like, this wasn't the Gunther that comes out and conducts his fucking business. Like, he was on edge. He kept rolling out of the ring after, like, a love tap. Like, I don't know if that was just him because he didn't want to lose the belt and they were like, well, you have to. So he was upset about it and he was acting that way or what. But man, it didn't look good. It didn't make Jey look any better, and it definitely didn't make Gunther look any better.
The only way that Gunther should come out of this is by either chopping everyone to pieces or choking everyone out. If Gunther is not a fucking murderer after this match, then they have neutered him insanely. Like, it's to Jey Uso. Gunther doesn't fucking tap out to anybody, let alone fucking Jey Uso, the yeet guy, the fucking yeet guy. That's who's gonna fucking tap out the fucking ring general, the dude who was almost named after a fucking Nazi. Like, what are we doing?
He's not wrong.
He's supposed to be this strong ass, hard ass motherfucker, and he's tapping out to the fucking yeet guy. He's tapping out to the fucking guy that has... This match is 16 minutes long. 5 minutes of it is fucking yeeting.
There's your clip, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Holy shit, Crash Out Air live and in concert. My God. He's not wrong, though. Because it's very, 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 very similar to last year, where the character assassination of Gunther is affecting him more than anything else. Like how all last year he was running his mouth to Sammy during the match. All last year he was like pointing at the wife, talking to the wife, getting up in the wife's business, like shit that you would never see the Gunther character do. And now this year it's everything that you just listed off. That's 2 years in a row now, and that's starting to not feel like a coincidence in my opinion. It's just so odd how they have so good booking for him all year, get to the biggest show where it matters, and just kind of shit the bed a little bit. But there's a big but here. I like big butts, and I cannot lie.
So does Shawn Michaels.
Continue.
I will refrain judgment until from the time of 10:30 to 11 p.m. tonight.
Understandable.
Depending on where tonight goes, then I will make a judgment from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you, because like I said, if Gunther is not a murderer, then they've done something wrong. And I really hope that they don't put him in that position, because WWE's booking can be called into question in other parts in WrestleMania, especially night one, and especially in this next match that seemingly was only for sponsorship money. Sponsored by Clash of Clans, a tag team match for the WWE World Tag Team Championship. The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, defeating the War Raiders, who were walking out in cardboard?
The New Day should be saying, thank God for Clash of Clans, because that is the only reason why this match is on the main card of WrestleMania, and the Motor City Machine Guns, Street Profits, and DIY are competing in a ladder match on free TV this Friday. That's the only reason Clash of Clans wanted to be on the big stage. They said, we got these War Raiders guys, these Viking-looking fellas who kind of look like your video game characters a little bit. Yeah, we'll give you X amount of dollars. Hell no, we don't want to be on a Netflix episode. We want to be on WrestleMania. So we're going to give you all of this money so that these guys are on WrestleMania. Same thing with our brand. And then on the little post show, yeah, it's the highest gate, highest attendance, highest merch sales, highest sponsorship revenue, highest this, highest that. And the War Raiders get the garb and they lose in just the biggest nothing burger of a match of all time. The people say, "Oh, this match was good." It wasn't. Was it? Sure,
no,
the wrestling in it, the wrestling inside of it, passable. The story behind it,
and I saw somebody on Twitter point out that probably the only reason why the New Day was picked is because of fucking up, up, down, down. Because I can guarantee you, probably in another month or so on Up, Up, Down, Down, you'll see them playing fucking Clash of Clans, or you'll see them sponsored by Clash of Clans. That's why it was Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. They're the video game guys.
Oh.
Chase that dollar, baby.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So, Hunter, we had the highest revenue, highest merch, highest gate, highest this, highest that. Anyways, thanks for showing up. I hated this one. I hated it. I'm not a fan of it. I understand New Days are heelish bad boys now. Kofi Kingston looks fucking stupid with just his Amish beard, and he looked like a psychopath at the end of the match when his eyes were bulging out of the back of his head. I get that they're heels, I do, but sweet baby Jesus, I could not give a shit less about them.
That's fair. And you don't really have to, I think, because unfortunately, the Raw SmackDown division, or the Raw Tag Team division is just absolutely fucked right now. And SmackDown is definitely the tag team division that you should be watching.
This is where I want or expect Fraxium to go to, because the Raw Tag division right now needs a lot of help.
Oh yeah. Fraxium would be very fun to watch. And, fun to watch. Jade Cargill is always fun to watch. She had a match going up against Naomi, defeating her by a pinfall, 9-minute squash match. It wasn't a squash match. I shouldn't say that. But hey, this was a really, really good match. And I liked that we got a little bit more out of Naomi, too. She's coming out with the new music. She's not spelling out her name anymore.
Yes.
I mean, this still kind of sounds a little bit Def Rebelish, but it's like acceptable. It's pretty good. It's not bad in the grand scheme of things. Could be better, but not bad. And she's got caution tape, which okay. I kind of like the glow,
she's had that
but
for the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that you need a new look when you're a heel. You can't be glowy because that's like popular or whatever. But I mean, I liked it. I like the new look. I like the new music.
Shout out to FGK popping for Jim Blastoise or whatever his name was before the match, more so than anything else involved in this one. Whatever Jade's person.
Oh, Jim Cantori?
Yeah, that one. What did I say?
Blastoise?
Blastoise. Jim Cantori, he's like the Weather Channel guy. He's like he's the guy that's always like out in the storms. He's like he's covered in hurricanes.
Almost had an aneurysm over Jim Cantori.
Pitched a tent.
hey, if people want to see his reaction, they can go over to our YouTube and watch it.
Very true.
Also, Jade missed an opportunity to come out as Storm. I would have personally really enjoyed that one as opposed to just Zeus.
I mean, well, that's the thing. She kind of always has the Storm look because she just likes Storm, and like, I mean, there were lightning bolts on there, so maybe it was Storm, maybe it was Jade Cargill, maybe it was just lightning bolts for lightning bolts' sake. Who knows? I don't know. It wasn't one of her like obvious cosplays, but I mean, I think you could look at that, and if you want to say it's Storm, you can say it's Storm.
It was it was about as good a match as I thought we were gonna get. You know, I think I'm still just glad that two women, especially two black women, were on the main card without a title involved. I think that's cool.
Yeah, just an actual story.
Out of the three matches, this one was the best. However, that's not saying much. I'm kind of disappointed that the Bianca involvement with this looks like it is all wrapped up. However, this is before Monday, the Raw after Mania.
Anything can happen.
Jade gets a win. Yeah. Jade skedaddles, and then we don't see Jade or Naomi again to the weekend.
Yeah, they settled their business, and I guess Jade was partying in Vegas.
Yeah, I really thought Jade was gonna get involved in that triple threat match the following night, because I was like, well, you know, unfinished business. But no, apparently she's like, nah, I'm good. I'm all set.
Thank God she didn't, because it was a fucking classic.
It was.
We'll talk about.
We'll get to that in a little bit. Yeah. We still got the rest of night one.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit, because the next match at night one, not necessarily a classic, but a match that I enjoyed watching, and a match that I know a lot of people were kind of looking at a little bit interested for the United States Championship. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf, taking on and defeating LA Knight by pinfall. From what I understand, this was like Jacob Fatu's dream match. Apparently, he really likes LA Knight.
He's an LA Knight mark. So
I had no idea, but hey, he has good taste. Good taste.
Yep, and I think that's the reason it ended up as a one-on-one instead of a triple threat with Braun Strowman farting around in there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good match though. It was solid. I'm glad to see Jacob with a little bit of gold now. Like, yeah, man, let's start this shit up. Like, he should be more than just Solo Sikoa's fucking enforcer. So I'm so glad that they're giving him a push.
When Solo's Bloodline won the SmackDown tag titles, it was never him. It was Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, correct?
Jacob, I think, has defended the titles, but he never won them. I think he subbed in during one episode.
So when Tonga Loa inevitably got injured.
Yeah.
And yes, inevitably is the correct word there. Brother is built like rice paper, big dog.
Yeah.
Gunking Kevin Owens on the noggin and everything. Don't miss the infamous Tonga Loa, I'll tell you that for free. But with this being his first singles title win, I think it would have been more impactful if LA Knight didn't drop it to Shinsuke for a cup of coffee, and then Shinsuke's brother died, and then he got the title back. I mean,
yeah, that was weird. That was a weird choice. I mean, I get why Shinsuke dropped it.
Of course,
personal stuff, but weird choice.
If they
they also did absolute dick with Shinsuke's reign, right?
Also true.
I mean, Shinsuke should have just dropped it on Raw or SmackDown, sometime this week. He didn't have to do that at WrestleMania. It still would have been a huge moment for Jacob being his first singles title win. So, that WrestleMania moment can be a moment of itself. It doesn't necessarily need to have not every WrestleMania match has a title. So, I don't know. But I'm glad that it happened.
Oh, of course, me too. His first singles title in the company, awesome match. I'm glad that he got involved with the gentleman that made the Fiend mask. I thought the werewolf mask was. It took me a second at first to realize what it was. I'm not gonna lie, but once I figured it out, it was pretty cool. I was a big fan of it.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier, Mike. You mentioned Tonga Loa getting hurt, and this next match was one that kind of came about from injury as well. El Grande Americano found himself without a WrestleMania opponent because Rey Mysterio was hurt on SmackDown when the Creed brothers pulled him out of the ring. And so WWE scrambled to find a replacement. And who did they settle on but Rey Fénix? So we had El Grande Americano versus Rey Fénix. This was a great match, but I'm going to be upfront with y'all. I mean, I tweeted this out. That could have been anybody from the LWO. There was a clip that went out of Penta watching Rey Fénix in this match. And look, at the end of the day, having a WrestleMania match, like wrestlers that understand how this business works, they don't care about wins or losses, right? Like, they want that moment. It was we'll talk about it next, but it was kind of similar for like CM Punk, right? Like, he didn't necessarily come out on top, but he still got his WrestleMania moment. So I think, I understand that they wanted to put Rey Fénix on the card just to have him on WrestleMania and to give him that opportunity. He did not need to lose to fucking El Grande Americano. I am sorry. That could have been anybody from the LWO. Honestly, probably should have been Dragon Lee, because they keep calling him the future of Lucha Libre. And WWE had a major announcement while we're talking about the future of Lucha Libre this weekend. They acquired AAA. Lucha Libre AAA. They acquired Mexican WWE. And some notable people that are I think maybe coming with this merger. We have Alberto El Patron. Alberto Del Rio is, I think, back in the WWE. Aerostar, who was currently in AEW as hologram. I don't know how that one's gonna work. El Hijo del Vikingo. He's been on WWE he's been on Ring of Honor, AEW, and the Cruiserweight Classic for WWE. So he's back in the WWE. You got fucking La Parka. He's in WWE. Yeah, dude.
That's wild.
You got here's this is what I don't really understand. Pentagon Jr. Is in AAA. That's Penta. That's just Penta with a different name. So I don't know if he's gonna go back. I think he should just going back to being Pentagon at this point, honestly. But I'm very excited to see what they do with this. Apparently, they're saying that they may call it NXT Mexico. I don't know about that, but I think WWE doing like traditional lucha, I don't understand why. Like, if you're buying AAA, that means that you're buying like Penta's records, you're buying Rey Fénix's records. I don't understand why you would have like those, like their past accomplishments are now canon in your company, and they get to WrestleMania and they lose. So it could have been literally anybody else.
It's definitely not the route that I would have taken. I'm very well aware that Rey Fénix and El Grande Venti Tall No Foam High Fat Latte performed very well. And again, like you said, when you know the business like some of these guys do, you don't always need to win every single time. It's just Rey Fénix had no involvement in this story whatsoever. And you want to have to try to build these guys up as much as possible. Excuse me. My voice is getting all here. I'm getting all emotional about Rey Fénix. My goodness. I do think it does kind of suck that Rey Fénix is now 0-1 at WrestleMania at the hands of the jokey luchador character, just purely because Rey Mysterio's multiple surgery-timed left knee gave out yet again, and that's going to be something that is now dealt with for here on out. The AAA stuff does make it more interesting to me.
I have another. We'll talk about it during night 2, but I have another theory for the AAA stuff. I think I see what they're doing here.
But once this one was all said and done, seeing Vikingo in the ring after everything that he's done with cool. AEW, how recently too, that was a really cool moment for me. Mike, what are your thoughts on that?
That match to me didn't need to happen at all. We wasted a space, and it again proved the point that we don't need 2 nights because that match was useless.
Yep, waste of 7 minutes.
Yep. But the next match, which was what I believe Tiffany versus Charlotte, right, was a lot more physical than I intended it. I thought it was going to be, but then again, when they both went off script talking to each other, you kind of figure they're going to go off script fighting with each other too.
I mean, it was honestly, I think it was one of Charlotte's better matches. And I really think it was Tiffany pulling Charlotte through that match. But yeah, Tiffany retaining, defeating Charlotte, all is right in the world. That's the way it should have been. And, maybe...
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have been on the podcast if Charlotte won.
Yeah, maybe, listen. Charlotte, go be a coach at NXT. Go be a manager. Go do anything else. It's
cool.
Tiffy time. It's Tiffy time.
Well, you're saying it wrong because after that match, it's Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy
No,
time.
she put a picture out that said, "I have all my teeth, guys. Thanks."
Oh, okay,
yeah,
good.
after it got surgically grafted back into her mouth, we all saw the PLE love. Like it got. Your shit was chipped. As much as you want to play it off, like it's fine now.
Who cares?
That's okay, though.
Who cares?
First gripe about this one. Why did you get the two blonde women practically identical fucking outfits?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell who was who at some parts in the match, damn it.
You had to look at the butt cheeks.
Oh, that's how.
That was one way to tell. Yeah,
One
that was
has thicker thighs than the other.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
The other one's more plastic than the other.
Very true, too.
Ironically enough, not the one with the Barbie gimmick that's mostly plastic.
Right. Odd how that works. I was... My bar for this match was exceeded. This was, so far, the best match of night one. Again, not saying much. I did not think it was going to be as hard-hitting as it was. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed Tiffany's entrance with herself in the screens, looking like different Barbie boxes. That one was quite nice. I enjoyed seeing Charlotte lose, even though if it did cost me our pick'ems, that's all right, though. I am excited to see the reign of Tiffany from here on out. It's just odd that the person that we thought was going to pull a Charlotte didn't end up pulling a Charlotte, and then another woman later that same weekend ended up pulling a Charlotte.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. We'll talk about that during night 2. Mike, what'd you think about Tiffy time?
Oh no, like I said, it was harder hitting than I expected. I'm glad Tiffany won. It did seem sloppy at points, but I think that was just because they were actually pub stomping each other in the forehead. So I mean, overall, I was just happy the right blonde won.
Amen.
And like Jackal said, it was the best match of the night up to that point until the main event knocked it out of the fucking park.
Yeah, the main event for the gay love of Paul Heyman. That's how I've been explaining it to Dandy every time.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Paul Heyman,
listen. It was the twist that we called. Okay, we talked about it. I take back what I said. I said I wasn't excited to see Paul Heyman with Seth Rollins. I didn't think that pairing needed to happen now. After seeing Paul Heyman on Pat McAfee today, and I assume getting a preview of how he's going to act as whatever this new role is. He was the advocate for Brock Lesnar. He was the best friend of CM Punk. He was the wise man of Roman Reigns. So I assume there's going to be some role of Seth Rollins. I don't know what that role is going to be, but on McAfee's show today, he was just fucking roasting. He was fucking going at it. He wasn't taking anybody's shit. He was, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, fuck you, and fuck you. And like, it was Paul Heyman just being like a Philly, New York dickhead. Like
there it is.
I'm like watching it. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. This is my guy. I'm all for it.
You were like, did I just go out to get the mail?
Dude, really, legit. Like if I can get this version of Paul Heyman with Seth Rollins, I don't give a fuck when it happens. I'm all for it. I know some people have said this. I know, Jackal, you said that Seth Rollins better not do his dancing and all of that. I want him to keep it. And then I want Paul Heyman to just be like, fuck yeah, he's Seth Rollins. Look at him. He's a fucking freak. Yeah.
He's a freak.
This is going to be great. This is going to be a great pairing.
You took the words right out of my mouth because I was waiting to get in next to you to be able to finally say this. This is not Paul Heyman. This isn't Paul Heyman. Congratulations, Mr. Philadelphia. You got Paulie Dangerously back on your TV in fucking 2025, dude.
You're so right, and I'm so happy.
I might not have thought this after Saturday, but after McAfee this morning, oh my God.
Yeah.
Looking a Hispanic man in the face and saying, "Hey, bud, you're going to get deported," is wild. It is absolutely crazy. The acting done by Heyman, getting to fulfill his promise, because, I mean, he said it on McAfee, I fulfilled the favor.
Yeah.
I was in his corner, I came out with him, I hyped him up, bluffed him up, gave him a pat on the back, a kiss on the forehead, whole 9 yards. All CM Punk wanted to do was a main event WrestleMania. He didn't say he wanted to win it. He just wanted to be there. And guess what? I got him there. I did it. Job's done.
That's the most Paul Heyman shit ever.
And it
Well, he didn't say he wanted to win. Oh, Tommy Dreamer, you wanted to get paid? You didn't say that part.
you gotta say these things.
Oh, sorry. You wanted a check. Oh, shit.
My bad.
Sorry.
Oopsie poopsie. The thing that's not making me rank this a perfect 12 out of 10 is because I didn't get that Saturday night. I understand there was not really a good way to be able to get that across on, PLE Saturday night. But still, I wish I got a little taste of that to get me through the weekend, to not have to wait until 2 days afterwards on an ESPN talk show to understand that a bit more.
But I'm pretty sure that, based off of what they were talking about on McAfee this morning, the story that they're probably going to tell tonight is that, from what Paul Heyman told us, he decided that when he handed Seth Rollins the chair. They didn't talk beforehand. So it may have very well been that we didn't get that on Saturday because Paul Heyman decided that. I feel like we're gonna see a new side of Paul Heyman, and I'm excited, or maybe an old side bringing out Paulie Dangerously. It's gonna be fucking wild. It's gonna be great, and he's gonna be on Netflix tonight too. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's why we have a hard out. This podcast is gonna go at most another hour. God bless.
Not even.
This match delivered. It was great. I'm not surprised that Roman's gonna take the next 6 months off or whatever. No. Punk coming out to this package with this Fire Burns got me gassed that I thought he was going to come out to Kill Switch Engage again.
Well, so sidebar on that, did you see his little interview where he said, backstage, he had to leave Gorilla because he was basically crying like a baby.
Oh,
yeah, it got to him.
That's awesome.
He was watching that back and hearing the music, seeing the reactions. It was too much for me. I couldn't do it. And he's like, I broke down, and he was just crying backstage to the point where they were like, "Dude, are you okay?" And he had to step away.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
And at the end of the day, it was an amazing match and a great way to end night one, because night two started out with an instant fucking classic.
Night two started off fucking hot.
Yeah, the women's triple threat for the Women's World Championship. Io Sky retaining against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. This
match of the weekend.
Absolutely.
Match of the weekend.
That's what I was going to say. This is the top right here. The women fucking delivered. I fucking love it when they do this shit, dog. I love when the women are the top match, because then it's you have to fucking watch them. Everyone that doesn't want to give a shit just because they're women, now you have to, because that match was better than Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus Roman Reigns.
100%.
It was
100%. By far, it was better.
And what I liked the most about this is that Io Sky went into this match with nobody giving a shit about her. And now she shut everyone up. And we can finally, hopefully, maybe get a justified Io Sky run where she can say that she's this fucking amazing genius of the sky and doing all these flips, and she's actually allowed to back it up because she's the women's world champion.
Well, and my biggest takeaway from it now is that she's probably not going to lose it to Rhea. So we're going to get a break from, everybody's tired of Rhea's champion, which is understandable. That's been a lot of her career. We're probably going to get Rhea doing some other type of character work.
She should go for mid-card.
And then maybe heel Bianca, but otherwise it leaves the door open for somebody new to actually come in and challenge her instead of just the same 2-3 people over and over and over again.
Yeah, they cleared out their main event scene.
Now that it is technically like as close to an off season as we're going to get. There's no
for another hour.
Dog, you're going to Backlash St. Louis. It's an off season. You can say it. It's okay. We're all friends here.
St. Louis is not going to be loud.
After the draft, pop the script, flip it and reverse it. Do what you need to do. Mix things up a bit. Get some fresh women involved in it. Maybe Rhea can move on to do something else. Rhea could do literally anything else. Bianca could do literally anything different with her character. She's the most white meat, white bread baby face, and that's the reason why people were booing her. I'm tired of the IWC pretending that there's ulterior motives, that the most stale women's character of all time is getting booed for any other reason other than that. Bianca needs to do something else with her character. Phenomenal performer, amazing athlete, but the character of a piece of toast. I swear to God, it was great between those three. Io Sky is a fucking amazing wrestler. I'm excited to see what she does. I'm curious to see how they fix the whole language barrier with her cutting promos, because now that everybody shoving her and her being the third wheel, now that angle's done, now she has to find another way to build things again by also not talking.
But she speaks English.
She does. It's not well enough for, Billy Bob Thornton in El Paso, Texas to understand her, but she does speak English.
Maybe she needs a manager.
I would not be opposed to seeing what the Asuka and Kairi Sane are doing, maybe get them back involved into this match, and just kind of have that carry us through the summer. I would really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great match, and it was a match that I think a lot of people were kind of underselling and not really thinking the most about. And then, as it was going on, people were like, "Oh, holy shit!"
Well,
and, I didn't get to watch it live, but I watched it on the replay, and I was like, "Oh, holy fuck! This is the crowd was getting in. They started off not into it. By the end, they were fucking into it."
Yeah.
I can fully say with the build to that match and with the way Io won the belt and all that stuff, I was really underwhelmed. So, I was like, cool, we're getting a match. The chemistry so far has been not great.
Non-existent. So
this is going to suck. And then the match started, and I was like, holy shit, this is not what they've been doing. This is so much better.
Yeah.
And I was extra blown away, and it made me love the match more because I was like, I wasn't expecting any of this.
I kind of had a similar reaction to the next match on night 2, the second match, the Sin City Street Fight. Drew McIntyre fucking literally killing Damian Priest to the point where Damian Priest, after the match, was rolling around on his back saying he couldn't breathe and pointing at his throat. This was fucking insane. We shit talked this match so much, and oh my god, this was awesome. This was crazy. This was just they looked at this and they went, well, we're at WrestleMania. We might as well go big. And in my opinion, I think these two dudes were really, I think they were, sometimes when you get in the spot where you're not really given a lot to work with, you go, well, fuck you. We're going to make this the best that we can anyway. We're going to knock it out the park. It's exactly what these guys did.
Exactly. I think they just kind of went, you know what? Fuck it. We ball. And then they just went after each other and they crushed it.
I was not the biggest believer. Very similar to what Mike said about the women's triple threat. I was not a big believer in this match. I have Damian Priest immensely. I am very public about that. That ain't a secret. But sometimes when you have chemistry with another man across from you, it just clicks. And this match clicked. It was good. It was great. It was violent. It was brought to you by Doom. It was so cute hearing all of these WWE reaction TikTokers going, "Wow, why is Drew coming out next to a bunch of rocks? Oh my goodness, what's going on there?" and then you look down on their channel and they're playing Fall Guys of all. It's like, oh, okay, so you're just don't pretend to know video games then. Okay, got it, bud. Put some respect on Doom Guy's name, damn you. Coming from somebody who's never played Doom. Anyways,
I love Doom.
Same.
Drew, Damien, let my body reject saying nice things about Damien Priest. However, I think Damien Priest had the entrance of the weekend.
Yeah, being played out by Kerry King.
Yeah.
Being played out by Slayer. Yeah, dude. And I didn't know this, but apparently Kerry King has always had a guitar solo on Damian Priest's entrance. I had no fucking clue that we've been listening to Slayer this entire time.
It kind of works.
I love it. I fucking loved it.
I knew I liked something about Damian Priest. I just can't quite put my ears on it. This match was great. The spot with the old school and getting shoved off was very, very creative. I thought
crazy.
He died.
Yeah.
And to top it all off, Drew wins.
No,
Drew
he
gets
got
his
killed
get
later.
back. Oh, he does get killed later.
Yeah, when he got claymored into a chair.
Drew gets his get back only after taking a selfie mid-match and
I fucking love that.
The most viral tweet so far of 2025.
The
again.
The best picture ever. Still bored at work.
In 1 minute, it had 50,000 likes.
Jesus.
It's so good. It's so good.
I watched him grab his phone, and I was like, Dandy was there watching it with me, and she was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, he's sending out a tweet."
he's tweeting again. Don't mind him. He's just bored at work.
It's just what he does. It's what he does. It was great.
I hope Drew back in the main event scene. I would love for Drew to finally wrap up his little bloodline tale. Mm-hmm. Maybe move on there because there's a bloodline member holding the championship. Mm-hmm. And Damian Priest is probably going to be on the shelf for a couple months.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Damian Priest, I hope, listen, sometimes people need a little bit of time away, I think Damian Priest is great, but I think if he has maybe a month or so off of TV when he comes back, he can come back a little bit more angry, a little bit more. I don't know, man. I feel like this match fucking killed it, and Damian Priest has been in this weird spot where he's being acknowledged as being good enough to do this shit, but also he's not really being given the opportunities. And so he's given an opportunity and he knocks it out of the park, and it's like, hey, that's great, but WWE doesn't care about you. They don't book you, dog. So.
Well, see, I think it's kind of I think he has the opposite of Jay effect, where Jay can get over with a wet blanket. Damian can't, even if he's having a banger of a match. People are like, well, it's still Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Where Jey Uso just goes yeet, and they're like, fuck it, I love him. Best guy in the business.
Speaking of getting over, we are now in the age of loving Dominic Mysterio. That's right.
Yeah,
because there was a fatal 4-way match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. You had Dominic Mysterio going up against Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta. This match legitimately, listen, I had Dirty Dom picked. So I loved this match, and I love Dirty Dom. And we talked about it earlier of WWE acquiring AAA, and I had a little bit of a theory. So when Dirty Dom came out, he was wearing a mask. Dirty Dom does not wear masks, so he took the mask off. They did a post-show thing, and he said that it apparently had some sort of heritage, and he thought it would give him some sort of courage and power. And then he realized that he doesn't need the mask, so he took the mask off, and he decided to take the mask off. I think the story that they're going to tell is that WWE is going to try to put a mask on face Dominic Mysterio. And I think they're going to do it and like try to send him to AAA. I think we're going to see Dominic Mysterio be a true intercontinental champion and travel between the United States and Mexico. I think he's going to continue working both because this is workhorse Dominic Mysterio, right? This is the guy who, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, had the second most amount of matches in the WWE. At one point was working Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Dominic Mysterio was not afraid to put in the work, and people are loving Dirty Dom. And I think that this partnership with AAA, this partnership, I mean, that's where Rey Mysterio came from. The Rey Mysterio heritage is in AAA. Rey Mysterio Jr. is Rey Mysterio in the WWE, which means that Rey Mysterio's uncle, Rey Mysterio Sr., is in AAA. Like, that's where this all started. And I'm very excited now to see what they're going to do with Dom. And I feel like if you're going to put a mask on Dom, now is the time to do it. And I think Dominic Mysterio probably wants to, or to at least have some sort of mask for merch sales, just as a longevity kind of thing. I don't know if he wants to wrestle with a mask full time or not. I don't know if Dominic Mysterio needs a mask, but I think if you're going to do it, and if that's the story that you're going to tell, I'm interested in that.
That's actually a really good shout because he's already has a track record of showing WWE that, hey man, if you want to make me the workhorse, if you want me to go around and do all things, he can get it done, especially if what you said earlier about AAA becoming essentially Mexico NXT or whatever their name
NXT Mexico
is.
Yeah. Which maybe it's apparently a rumor.
That is a perfect place to send your Intercontinental title, your new, very over Intercontinental champion on a brand where he's going to be loved, on a brand that you need to now get eyeballs on. I think that is a smart move. This match was great. I don't know what the fuck happened to Finn Balor. He looked like a radioactive banana. That kind of caught me off guard.
I don't get that. I don't know what he was going for.
Braun Breaker doing some breaker math at the WrestleMania pre-show popped me good.
129% chance of winning.
And killing Carlito again.
And killing Carlito again. The rivalry
spear.
that never ends.
Crazy spear.
He needs a second funeral. My dog.
Oh, R.I.P. Apple Boy. Gone, but never Apple. Penta finally getting on WrestleMania. This match, especially after the women's triple threat, Drew Damien, and then the Fatal 4-Way, back to back to back to back. Elite 3 matches in a row. Amazing match. Great winner. Dom, already hilarious in his interviews. I think we're
the best Mysterio of all time. The greatest Intercontinental champ of all time.
Whereas Breaker surpassed Dom in the athleticism, I am going to say that Dom is probably a lot better on the mic than Braun Breaker right now. So I'm excited for this run. So give me more Dom, baby. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I think the thing that I like the most about this match is that with it being a 4-way, it was total non-stop action. Just like the next opponent, the surprise opponent for Randy Orton. That's right. Because Kevin Owens is actually fucking legitimately hurt. Which is unfortunate. But they had to they had to fill a spot. And we were thinking last week about who it could be. You know, I know Rusev was a name that we were kind of throwing out there. It was a name I was throwing out there. It was not Rusev. It was Joe fucking Hendry. Holy shit. That was, it was like what, 3 minutes, 4 minutes long? It was not a long match. But oh my God, was that one of the most entertaining matches of the fucking weekend. And you who gets that opportunity? Joe Hendry as the TNA World Champion. You want to fucking talk about TNA getting international exposure? That is how you pull people into your product. This is what it looks like when WWE and TNA actually work together. When we were sitting there when they started this, they were working with NXT, and we went, well, what is TNA getting out of this? Why are they doing this? This is what they get out of this. They get their men's world champion going up against Randy Orton. Listen, Joe Hendry lost, but this is an opportunity where, again, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. This is such an incredible moment. and it was so entertaining to watch. And the best part was that we got fucking Randy Orton doing the turn around the turn and the camera pans in.
It was so
Dude,
good.
So fucking
that and the
good.
choke slam where he just pokes him in the fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And it makes me so happy that apparently everybody loves Joe Hendry backstage. Everybody loves Joe Hendry.
They did this the only way that wouldn't hurt somebody returning.
Right.
They did it with a complete wild draw. They brought in somebody that's universally loved, where even though he lost, he rubbed shoulders with Randy Orton. He had a great, it made people, there was a lot of just laughter and enjoyment out of that match. It was short, it was sweet, but it was fun.
And I mean, at the end of the day, it's Randy Orton. If he RKOs you, not many people are kicking out of that. So losing to Randy Orton via RKO, it's fine. How many times has The Undertaker been RKO'd and lost, right? So, Joe Hendry is totally not hurt by this at all. Although, somebody who is a little bit hurt by their loss, unfortunately, FGK is not here for his opinion on this match. I think we may want to check on him. We may want to do a wellness call, because I haven't talked to him since this match. But I mean, Logan Paul defeating AJ Styles for a count of 3.
You won the title, bud, but at least my favorite wrestler didn't lose to Logan Paul at WrestleMania, bitch.
Imagine telling somebody in 2016 that AJ Styles was going to lose to Logan Paul at WrestleMania.
I would have said this. I would have said the Vine guy, and then I would have taken myself out into the woods and hung myself in the tree.
Oh, so he could film you.
Yeah,
yeah, I could have been more of his content. You're right. Fuck. This match was decent. The ending was fucking stupid. But more than anything, hey, AJ, Logan, you're supposed to build your own fucking match, not have Karrion Kross do it for you. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm sure neither of them wanted to be there because Logan's busy being an asshole, and AJ probably didn't want to wrestle Logan Paul. But for fuck's sake, Karrion Kross did the most building for this match, and it's not close.
And Karrion Kross, I was going to say, from the sounds of it, would definitely have preferred to have been him in that match rather than Logan Paul. I know both of you have heard Karrion Kross's fucking tirade that he went on. Crazy promo. Yeah, that was overnight. That was insane.
I finished WrestleMania, go to bed, wake up to that. Jeez, Pete.
Listen, tonight's the night, man. If they don't push Karrion Kross, I don't know what they're gonna do. He's on fire. The fact that he was in, and this is one of the things that I want to say, because it kind of goes into this next match as well. The fact that Karrion Kross is somebody who can do a WrestleMania in his hometown and not officially be on the card should speak leaps and bounds to the professionalism of Karrion Kross.
Volumes.
And I say it kind of goes into the next match because Bayley was pulled last minute as well. Apparently, and apparently, I don't know if there was an injury involved, but Triple H.
It also, this is one of those take it with a grain of salt things because there's WWE going, last minute injury, and then there's a lot of stuff online saying, hey, this has pretty much been planned for a while.
Yeah, and Triple H,
if that's the case, extra fuck you.
Yeah, and Triple H said in the post show for WrestleMania Night 2, he said, in regards to Bayley, don't worry, she's a consummate professional. She'll be just fine. Now, she was replaced in this match by Becky Lynch. And Jackal, you and I were kind of talking about this on your reaction stream.
Yes,
Becky did not look ready to me.
No.
I think listen, Becky. It was Lyra and Becky versus Liv and Raquel. Obviously, this match was going to be, yeah, I mean, obviously this match was going to be amazing because the people that are involved are great at what they do. But the ring rust on Becky Lynch was apparent. My personal theory, and I have absolutely nothing to back this up, pure speculation. I think Bayley was hurt, but not as badly as, like, I think it was one of those things where they decided, hey, you know, if you're not on WrestleMania, it's less of a risk for you, and we get more out of you in the long run. I mean, it's WrestleMania. Leading up to it, people are training, and they're training hard, and you can pull stuff that takes you out for a week or two, and like the way that the thing that makes me at least know that she's not legitimately hurt is that they did the injured backstage angle. They're acknowledging it. It's not them trying to hide that somebody needs a major surgery or something like that. So, and with Triple H saying that she's going to be just fine, I don't know. But the one thing that we do know is that she wasn't on WrestleMania, and she seems to, at least in interviews, to be okay with it. So again, consummate professional, just like Karrion Kross, but Becky Lynch was not ready.
She looked skinny. Like, not like, oh my god, she lost weight. She looked like she lost muscle.
Yeah.
She didn't have, her outfit was all black, and it looked like she was wearing, like, Dick's Sporting Goods wrestling shoes fresh off the shelf.
She was wearing like Adidas skate shoes. They were just like,
essentially.
I mean, to wrestle, you only need flat soled shoes so that way you don't rip the canvas. So like, people wrestle in Jordans and shit. So she was essentially just doing that. But yeah, Pat McAfee on his show said that Becky Lynch was just there and could fill in, and that's kind of what it felt like. I don't know. I assume that if it was a work, that was not the case. But it really seemed like Becky Lynch was just being thrown in there last minute. Maybe all of this was on purpose, so it seemed like that. But I
so
I don't know.
Mission accomplished, because that's what it felt like.
That's what I think, because there was even a little thing with her where they were like, Becky, are you wrestling this weekend? And she's like, as of right now, I am not wrestling. As you can see, and she did one of those, because I'm here talking to you. And that's when you're like, oh, okay, so she's going to be at WrestleMania somehow, some way. And then all of a sudden, oh, Bayley's injured. And it's like, really, we're going to take out somebody that's been here the whole time and put in somebody coming back from, having a kid, an injury, and all that stuff to wrestle at WrestleMania and been rusty. Well, Chelsea Green should have had a title match. But hey, again, why not waste spots with nothing matches when you can have
I predicted Charlotte wins LOL, and it just ended up being Becky wins LOL. Because, boy howdy,
there's
still
difference?
No earthly reason that Liv and Raquel should have lost that match, because they just got it like a month ago after Chamber, right? But again, what do I know? I'm just a white dude that does podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Listen, I liked Becky Lynch. I think she's had a great career, and she's had a lot of pivotal moments, and she was one of the women that really she was one of the first to really go in front of all the men. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens with this. The one thing that I'm not excited about is Lyra has her attention split. Why would you want your inaugural champion to be defending both belts?
So
I don't like that.
The only reason I can see that they did this dumbass angle is that eventually they're going to drop it to probably an NXT couple like Gigi or Tatum, but probably not them, because it's them, and they don't hold belts. Not to be mean, that's just they don't. And but that's kind of what Becky did to Lyra, to get Lyra to get noticed and to get onto the main roster. So I see that happening again. They're just basically using her to put over new talent, which fine, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the inaugural women's IC champ should be focused on the IC championship, you know?
Yeah.
So
I think that's the biggest issue more than anything else. Lyra shouldn't even have been in this match. It should have been an actual women's tag team. Oh,
right.
The real problem is that you don't have any of those.
Yeah, there are none.
Well, no, hold on. That's the problem, is that they even had a tournament where there were 2 actual teams out of like 5 or 6, which is saying something. But you had a whole tournament to decide this, and then still went, nah, fuck them, and then use somebody else that wasn't around to begin with in that place instead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing
In
like
my
saying
opinion,
fuck you to all the other women in the division.
In my opinion, this match should have been on Raw tonight.
Yes, very much so.
But at the end of the day, it clocked in at a whopping 8 minutes, so it's not like they were out there for long.
It felt longer.
Oh, it felt a lot longer.
It felt a lot longer.
It really did. It really did. But I mean, you know, Liv and Raquel have been, I guess, just perpetually at the top of their division, so I'm sure they'll get it back at some point. They're, you know, one of the only teams in their division, so it's not hard to stay at the top. But I don't know. That's one that could definitely benefit from a draft, bringing some people up. We'll see how WWE handles that one, because, gentlemen, it is now time for the main event of WrestleMania Night 2 4.
That's what I'm going to call it, the main event.
The main event for the undisputed WWE Championship, officially the GOAT, the best of all time. Get Ric Flair's name out your fucking mouth. I'm not going to take any fucking disrespect on the GOAT, John Cena. He is number 17. I'm so fucking excited. 12-year-old me is so fucking happy. Dude, this match, I know that people are bitching and complaining, and they're saying, oh, it was slow, and Cena only hit his moves, and blah, 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 blah. That's the fucking point.
That's the point.
We don't get anything. We don't deserve anything. That's why he came out to just no video, just a black screen that said John Cena, because that's all you get. You get his 5 moves of doom because it's John Cena, and that's all you get. He doesn't need to wrestle, and everybody bitching. I'm very glad that FGK isn't here, because I didn't want to deal with this shit. With everybody bitching and complaining about Travis Scott being on this match, John Cena's entire thing is that he's going to ruin professional wrestling. If what he's doing pisses you off, it's working. Point. And at the end of the day, we know why Travis Scott was down there, because while John Cena was standing on the apron holding Travis Scott's hands up, John Cena looks Travis Scott right in the eyes and says pretty fucking clearly, "Did The Rock send you?" And Travis Scott nods. And then they go to beat up Cody Rhodes, because that's what The Rock wants them to do. It makes sense.
Here's the thing, and this is one of those, either you're saying that John Cena is better than the whole bloodline combined, or you're saying
it is.
You're like, the story they built for the last 2 years, and then what they're doing with Cena. I mean, clearly The Rock can't be fucking bothered to show up when he doesn't want to. Because you basically hijack a whole storyline and go, no, Rock's turn. And then you just go, no, we'll send Travis Scott instead, because now it just takes Travis Scott and a low blow and a title shot to beat Cody instead of the whole fucking bloodline. So what you're saying is, and, you know, if that's the angle they want to play, okay. That is perfectly fine, as long as Cena comes out and also actively says that. You know, like you're saying, he is better than the whole bloodline, including The Rock.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
Because it took all of them to take down Cody 2 years ago, and it took Cody and a whole fucking squad against all of that to beat, you know, Roman last year. And it's just one of those, I was like, but this year it just took Cena and Travis Scott.
But
okay,
how did John Cena get in the Elimination Chamber? Because he's the greatest of all time. So yeah, I think the story that they're telling is that he's the greatest of all time, and if that means that he's greater than the entire bloodline and The Rock combined, then yeah, he was able to do it with a low blow, I'm honestly going to argue that Travis Scott maybe wasn't even that much of a help because he wound up getting crossroads. And I think that was just because of the fucking receipt, because he slapped the shit out of Cody Rhodes.
It wasn't even a good receipt.
Oh,
I'm sorry, if you're going to give somebody a receipt, give them a fucking receipt.
I
mean,
I wish he decked him in the mouth. I wish he decked
That
him.
was like hitting somebody with a pillow.
At the end of the day, people are bitching and complaining about John Cena smacking Cody Rhodes over the head with a belt, and they're going, well, he's going to beat Ric Flair like that? Ric Flair was the fucking biggest cheater ever. Look at Ric Flair's matches.
Player in the game.
Yeah, let's only count Ric Flair's clean title wins. There are none. He's a heel. He's been a heel the entire time. Like that would be like saying MJF, his title wins don't matter because he cheated. Like that would be like the same, like, fuck off, dude. Cena's a heel. He cheated and he won, and he's the greatest of all time. He's won 17 WWE championships. Nobody else has done that. He is the greatest of all time officially in the company, and people better start putting some fucking respect on his name, because we don't know what he's going to do tonight on Raw, but he said that he's going to take this title home and he's going to end the lineage of the WWE title, and they're going to have to make a new title and start over. That's John Cena's plan on how he's going to retire. I don't know what the fuck he's going to do on Raw tonight, but if the man has that much power to end the lineage of the WWE World Championship, then you need to respect him.
Yep. There was a lot angry in the comments section of our one TikTok that just recently kind of went a little bit viral. They were not
45,000
happy
and counting.
That Ric Flair is getting dethroned by John Cena here, and unfortunately, the future is now, old man. Ric Flair's name is dead and gone as of about 10:30 at night last night. Who gives a shit about Ric Flair anymore? The people upset about the way that this match went. That's the point. I know you just spent the past 20 minutes saying that, but the people ain't, it should have been better. Why didn't they cook more? Why didn't this? Why didn't that? That's the point. The one thing that I have a legitimate issue with, and everybody has agreed with me so far, is that big, bald, bastard Dwayne showing up whenever he feels like it, whenever Moana's 2 filming schedule allows it, and interjects himself into whatever storyline is hot the moment he gets there, and all the writers go, oh, well, I guess we have to figure out a pivot. I guess we got to figure out what to do now because Dwayne wants to play in the sandbox yet again. Hey, Dwayne, you going to be here for Mania? No, I can't. I got to go to Disney and go put out the fires in Hawaii again and beg all of America for more money, even though I have enough money to fix all these issues myself. I have to go do that. I can't be there at WrestleMania. Goodbye. It's...
Yeah, that's my ridiculous fucking problem.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck
the
Rock
exact way
was.
Cena wanted. The match went the exact way Cena wanted, which is fine. But the fact that you have The Rock, who comes in, hijacks the storyline, and then all of a sudden is just not there at the biggest main event.
He bothered to show up. Yeah.
And instead sends Travis Scott, like that's the angle we're playing. I'm sorry, that's fucking lazy. That's what that is. It's not a cool fucking storyline. It's fucking lazy, and it's embarrassing for a major promotion to do that shit.
Again, this is 20 minutes before the Raw after Mania.
Right.
So
he could be on Raw tonight.
He better come out.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
But if he's on Raw tonight, why the fuck wasn't he at WrestleMania? It's fucking Mania. It's you are a fucking chairman. You fucking own part of this company. Nick Khan was there to comfort the woman who flopped after Stone Cold hit her with a fucking quad. When Stone Cold was drunk as fuck, he missed the ramp going up, by the way. But he went in the first time.
She wasn't even around when he hit the fucking barricade.
Oh yeah,
she was like 4 feet
she
back.
fucking flopped. Listen, she's gonna get green shirt guys tickets though for the rest of her life. That's the fucking smartest shit ever. I'd flop too. I'd flop. I'd be down. I'd get a fucking ketchup packet, smack it over my head. I'd be out, dude. I'd be selling so good they'd give me a contract.
Since you decided to mention Nick Khan's name,
you go
Here
with
we
this
go.
one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If it's
Yeah.
the weekend of your biggest fucking event, keep another company's name out your fucking mouth, dumbass.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Advertise
I
your own
didn't hear
shit. Don't
this.
worry about them, you dumb fucking bastard. You're running a
Yeah.
company. Like, that pissed me off so much. Like, you can't be professional enough for 5 minutes to, promote WrestleMania, the event going on this weekend. You have to talk about AEW? Really, dude?
And the thing that gets me the most about it is that he's like, we don't bench people. Yes, the fuck you do.
Well, exactly. Like, you're going to say something, and not only are you going to say something, you're going to say something that fucking idiotic. We don't bench people. No, you actively bring people here and put them on the sidelines. You do that all the time.
Yeah, look
Especially
at the
now that you're part of
LWO.
TKO. Yeah. Oh, what? You're foreign? Well, to the sidelines with you. Sorry, bud. Bye-bye. And, like, it's so asinine. But then on AEW's side, they're going, we beat Nitro. Cool. You beat the kid that can't fucking read.
Yeah, really.
Congrats.
Yeah, really.
Like,
we're the
beat
longest
the
running
kid with
wrestling
one
show
leg and
on
no eyes.
Turner Television. Great.
You
Yeah.
did it, man.
Great, you beat the
You're
fucking
the coolest kid in the trailer park.
village idiot.
Awesome. Yeah.
I did not hear any of that. It is definitely odd. Although it is very similar. If you're going to say that, I understand he's got to be professional. I wish he did something like what Paul Heyman did. And I wish I could hear what Paul Heyman did at the roast of WrestleMania. That's
You won't hear
also
about
never
that.
going to see the light of day. Yeah,
Nope.
exactly.
Yeah. Apparently, Tony Hinchcliffe said some things. Surprise,
Hey, go
surprise.
figure. The racist asshole was a racist asshole.
Yeah.
What a surprise!
In
my
other
favorite.
news, water wet.
My favorite though is just how everyone's like, oh yeah, the comedians that were there, not funny. The funniest people there were the wrestlers, and apparently the funniest guy at the roast, to the point where he started pissing off Gabriel Iglesias and Tony Hinchcliffe. Paul Heyman is apparently a roast master, which again is going back to, I hope we get him with Seth Rollins in that form. But this roast of WrestleMania was an absolute fucking waste. And apparently no one's allowed to fucking talk about it. They made Benoit jokes?
Oh,
Yeah, go figure. Tony Hinchcliffe apparently said, yeah, you guys don't bring up Benoit a lot, but he is just hanging around in your history.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Listen.
Don't forget when he called Penta a slur, too.
Yeah,
Yep.
Listen, I think it's all fine if, again, going back to Travis Scott, it's all fine if you want to bring celebrities into professional wrestling, but you have to bring them in the right way. And a roast of WrestleMania is not the right way to do that. It's there are ways where they could have been involved, and he could have been somebody's mouthpiece. Like he could have been involved that way. He could have been running his mouth, and then he gets someone to fight in a match on his behalf or something like that. Like there's ways to get them involved, but I don't know about this one. And it sounds like for WWE's PR team, it was not a good time.
And I do kind of think that is partially because of the area that they're at. I don't think they're going to try to run something like this, New Orleans next year.
Yeah.
They better fucking not, man. How dumb.
Yeah, they just shouldn't run something like this again in general. But it was a good step in the right direction for the people that were there live. I don't have the $50,000 lying around to be able to do something of it. But boy, oh boy, WrestleMania weekend has come to a close yet again this year. 41 officially in the books. Overall, with both nights considered, I'm going to say a hearty 6.5 out of 10.
What was that?
Definitely
Cutting out. What was that?
6.5 out of 10. Definitely a step down from last year.
Oh, 6.5.
Yeah.
Oh.
The good was good, but the bad was even worse.
Go for it, Mike. What's your score?
I was going to say, I'm going to separate it. So if we just take Tiff and Charlotte, main event of night 1, and then the first half of night 2, that is about a 9. When we include everything else, I would say probably a 6.5 as well. Maybe a 7, but I disliked so many matches in night 1, and then the way they kind of just went downhill for night 2, that a 6 seems kind of 6.5 seems kind of accurate, unfortunately.
See, now I don't think 6.5. I think I'm leaning more towards like 7.5. You know, like let's.
Oh, so close.
Close, but like I think I don't think it was that bad in the grand scheme of things. Like at the end of the day, it was a good, like when you're looking at it both nights, it was an entertaining WrestleMania. It had good matches. It had your piss break matches.
Had a lot of piss breaks.
It had good stories. It had interesting stipulations. It had surprises, which we haven't had in years. We had fucking Joe Hendry. We had fucking, we had all of these maybes, all of these what ifs, and yeah, some of the returns were a little lackluster when we're sitting here speculating, but we're also sitting here speculating. We don't run the WWE business, so it's one of those things where I think, the expectations were definitely higher than what they delivered on. But at the end of the day, it was not a bad WrestleMania. And people are going to shit on it because they want to, WWE wants to try to get their money. But that's the point. WWE is a publicly traded company. They have to make as much money as possible at all times. That's their primary goal. And they do that, luckily, by keeping the fans happy and giving us what we want. So that way we buy more. So, I think this WrestleMania was pretty good. I think maybe 7.5 or maybe even an 8 out of 10. I liked it.
And
see, for me, this proved, and I said it before, I'll say it again, we only need one night. There was not enough,
that's fair.
I think.
Yep.
Like, there were enough bad matches that if you took them out, added 2 more hours, or even an hour, like, that could have been one of the best WrestleManias. Yeah. Because there were some amazing fucking matches.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
Really, really, really bad ones.
I agree with you. I'm going to SummerSlam in August when they come to New Jersey, and that's 2 nights. And I don't know how they're going to fill 2 nights. So I agree with you. I think pay-per-views can be 1 night, and I think if your pay-per-views like WrestleMania are just 4 hours instead of 3 hours, then it's 4 hours because it's WrestleMania. But gentlemen, that's all the matches that we had to talk about. We did it. We got through Stand and Deliver, WrestleMania, and we're about to watch Raw after WrestleMania. If you want to know what our thoughts of Raw after WrestleMania are, we'll be talking about them next week. So if you're on Spotify, hit that follow button. And if you're on YouTube, hit subscribe and hit that little bell icon so that way you're notified whatever we post, whenever we post. We have tons of videos coming out. Tons of reaction videos were coming out. Tons of shorts are going to be coming out. There's stuff coming out on the TikTok. It's everywhere. It's awesome. You can get it wherever. You can get the podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Oh, I don't even think did I say to rate us on Spotify? I might have just said follow. Oh, and comment on Spotify. There's so much to do. Just interact with everything. Hit all the buttons. Do all the things. Tell your friends about us. Send up smoke signals. If you want to find more of me, you can find me over at twitch.tv/EraV1 or youtube.com/EraV1Music. You can find me on all major streaming platforms. My new single with my friend Mojave Martyr. It is called Stardust. It is out everywhere now. Stream that bitch all damn day.
I might have it on the Spotify.
Do it.
Might be there. If you want to listen to me, listen here and just stay here forever. Be my friend, please. And also watch our reaction vids because I'm actually in these now.
Yeah, you can see his face.
You can see my face now. I have one. And if you don't like me, that's okay. I'm gonna go play in traffic and see what happens.
If you didn't enjoy the things I said, it's all right. You really enjoy the works of Tony Hinchcliffe, and I just go to sleep at night knowing that I'm better than you every single way. But if you did enjoy the things I said, you can find me over at youtube.com/JackalJoker or twitch.tv/JackalJoker. God, WrestleMania weekend come to a close, man. It's like you're on vacation. So it's so exciting to build up, but once everything's all said and done, you kind of feel a little empty afterwards.
Yeah, 364 days till the next one.
Oh boy,
down.
All in New Orleans, huh? I guess we got to start. We got to start saving up some money now so we can go get a 3 counted out table there next year, right, fellas?
Has anybody heard from FGK? I haven't heard from him since AJ Styles lost to
I think
Logan Paul.
He's still in static shock from it all.
No, that's an animated character.
That's a superhero.
Oh, sorry. He's in cardiac arrest of it all.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, his chair's off in the corner. I can't see if he's sitting in it still from here. Mike, you're a lot. Is he in his chair still?
Yeah, his head has a weird shape to it now.
Oh.
Oh, it's missing some of it.
That's my bad. That's my bad. Yep, he tried to take the title before he won it again. So so don't worry. My fingerprints are already here. You fella don't gotta worry about it. I'll just there we go. Got the cover.
I'm not gonna touch him, but I'll count for it. 1.
Yeah, go for it.
2, 3. That's it. Ring the bell.
Yeah. Yo.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
he will be. It's all right. It's all right.
You guys want to watch Raw?
He's coming.
Yeah. Let's go. I got food to make. Get out of here.
Yeah, I need dinner.